Solid hit. Hello there folks, and welcome to Bullets for Bucks. My name's Steven. In today's video we're going to compare the Christensen Carbon Ridgeline against the Tikka T3x Superlite. And then later in the video we're going to test them out at the range and show you those results. Let's start with the Christensen Ridgeline. Features a contoured rubber recoil pad, a sling swivel stud, and finding out the stock material on this was a little bit difficult. Some say it's plastic, some say it's fiberglass. To me, it feels like polymer reinforced with fibers or some sort of hybrid fiberglass. Polymer has a pretty slim grip right here, traditional comb right here, and then all metal trigger guard, floor plate. Floor plate releases a push button inside. Depending on the caliber, you have different mag capacities. This one is 3+1. Trigger Tech field trigger, adjustable 2.5 or down to 2.5 or 2.25 pounds. Super crisp, super clean, single stage trigger, fantastic trigger. Utilizes a stainless steel receiver with the Remington 700 footprint, and the recoil lug is sandwiched between the barrel and the receiver. This is spot bedded and has pillar bedding as well, so pretty solid bedding job on this. 90-degree bolt throw, side lever bolt release, 2 locking lugs, two plunger ejectors, and a little mini claw extractor on there. Has a skeletonized bolt handle and spiral fluted polished bolt, so pretty cool there. Rides really smooth in the receiver, but a little bit sloppy feeling. When the safety's at the rear, does not lock the bolt in place. When it's one forward, you can fire and manipulate the bolt. Barrel is a Christensen carbon fiber wrap, 26-inch barrel that is fully free floated, but it's a really tight free float. And then it has a sling swivel stud at the front. Thread 5/8 by 24 and does come with a radial muzzle brake. The Christensen Ridgeline in long action is still extremely lightweight, as only 6.8 pounds, and in short action it comes in even lighter. And let's take a look at the Tikka T3x stock here. This is about a 1-inch thick recoil pad, solid rubber, really heavy duty recoil pad. Sling swivel stud, pretty traditional comb design. It's polymer reinforced with fibers. It doesn't feel as premium as the Christensen Ridgeline stock. Has a little bit more hollow sound to it, and I feel like a little bit more flex. Interchangeable grips here though, which is kind of cool. Has metal pillar bedding but no spot bedding job. A barrel is free floated in this factory stock, and it does come with a front sling swivel stud. A little bit of like checkering here for added grippiness. A little bit more squared off and beefy feeling than the Christensen Ridgeline. And it does have a piece of metal sandwiched into the stock right here that acts as your receiver recoil lug. Now let's take a look at the barrel action. This is a GRS Fenris stock we're not going to talk about, but this is an aftermarket stock. Normally this receiver and barrel looks stainless steel. It is stainless steel. This has a hideous black paint job on it. Bolt lift is 70 degrees on the Tikka, unlike the Christensen that is 90 degrees. Side lever bolt release, but on the Christensen I believe it's polymer. I think it's metal on the Christensen. Polished bolt body, one piece removable handle, so you can change those out. Coned bolt nose on this. Plunger ejector, Socko style extractor. The bolt rides like glass in the receiver, super, super smooth. Feels a little bit tighter than the Christensen. And it has a cocked indicator at the rear. The receiver on this is stainless steel and then has a slot cut out in the front of it that binds up against the piece of metal that's in the stock. That's a separate piece of metal, and then the receiver screws, when they're tightened down, bind that all together. I definitely prefer the Christensen bedding job over the Tikka T3x bedding job when it comes to this. Features a plastic bottom metal in the original factory configuration, a single stack plastic magazine, but it works quite good in the factory configuration. Features a 22.4-inch cold hammer forged barrel that's stainless steel, straight fluted, and it is not threaded at the end. And this rifle and the Tikka comes in at a weight of 5.9 pounds in short action. So they're pretty close, short action against short action. And one thing to note is, and the Tikka comes in at 5.9 pounds, just a little bit lighter than the long action Christensen, but pretty close in weight when it comes to short action Christensen versus the Tikka. And the Tikka only comes in one action size. One thing to note is you can't get 300 PRC, 7 PRC, or 6.5 PRC in a Tikka, but you can in the Christensen. So if you want those calibers or a little bit longer barrel or more selection, the Christensen's got them beat. All right, let's go ahead and take these. Oh, and the Tikka comes with an excellent factory adjustable single stage trigger that goes down about 2¼ pounds to 2½ pounds. That goes down to about 2¼ pounds. But I do like the Trigger Tech trigger just slightly more than the Tikka. Now let's go ahead and check these out at the range and see how they perform. So that was a little bit better group. Good. Solid hit. There we go. Nice. That one was dead center, or close. Functioning great here. All right, now that we're back from the range, let's talk about the Christensen. It's super lightweight, slim feeling in the hand. It was capable of MOA, but it was a little bit difficult to get MOA with factory ammunition out of it, but that's largely probably due to me, and with a small sampling of factory ammunition, it's impossible to say, you know, that it couldn't be way more accurate. But the big elephant in the room is it was ejecting the brass straight up almost into the windage turret of the scope, and I moved the scope, was still doing it, and I've had that scope on other bolt actions, and I've tested tons of bolt action with scopes. I've never had that problem, and this is designed to have a scope on it. So in my opinion, that's probably unique to just this one, not like all of the same model. And they have excellent customer service. I like their company, but I have to say that's unacceptable given that it was ejecting the brass, and then the brass would fall back down in the feeding area and then cause double feeds. It would cause the neck of the brass, or the rim of the brass, should say, to get even cracked in many occasions, so the brass was no longer usable or reloadable. And this was with factory ammunition. So I got to say, huge fail, unfortunately. If I was barring that out of the equation, I would recommend this rifle, and I would say it would be an excellent country hunting ultra lightweight rifle, being only 6.8 pounds with a 26-inch barrel in long action. The Tikka, in its original factory configuration, shot incredibly accurate, easily capable of quarter MOA with factory ammunition. And being an ultra lightweight rifle, that's quite an achievement, because I don't generally shoot ultra lightweight rifles that well. I would have to say I like the bolt lift and running the bolt in the Tikka more than the Christensen. I feel like it's a little smoother, feels a little bit better, but the safety locking the bolt in place I prefer over the Christensen. But the Christensen trigger and stock I like more, and the bending of the receiver I like more in the Christensen than the Tikka. But because of the problems with ejecting the brass so vertically, I'd have to just say I recommend the Tikka T3x between these two. Barring that, I would say if you had the extra money, get the Christensen. But with those problems, I have to say I would choose Tikka in this case. Hope you enjoyed this comparison of the Christensen Ridgeline versus the Tikka T3x Superlite. Thanks for watching Bullets for Bucks. Check out this next video and subscribe.